This is my time map. This is the map I've been using to track Comet Ison. This is original speed when it came into our solar system. 44 kilometers per second. That's the original speed. Now, actually, let me correct that. This is the entry point of Hale Bop. Okay? Yeah, this is the entry point of Hale Bop. Sorry about that. Because when I first came up with the time map, I discovered either Comet Ison was either going to be here near Earth in 1996, or it was passing Mars in 1978. But what I came out with was, yeah, this was Hale-Bopp coming in first. So Hale-Bopp speed was 44 kilometers per second. Hale-Bopp moving about at the same speed as this is Comet Ison. See, this Comet Ison's entry point into the solar system when it passed Mars in 1978. And this is orbital path that is taken. This is the orbital path of active Comet Ison that is taken. And see here we have the 9/11 attack here, and it's passing. It passed around the Earth. We're around the Earth during the 9/11 attacks. So Hale-Bopp was here in 1996. Near Earth in 1996. Hale-Bopp orbit is basically the same as Comet Ison's orbit, but it's on the opposite side of the solar system. Hale-Bopp is here. Hale-Bopp starts here. Comet Ison starts here. Hale-Bopp's orbit is 2,500 years estimated. Yeah, Hale-Bopp's orbit was estimated at 2,500 years, right? Estimated. So, with the bad energy from 1,000 years, Comet Ison's orbit is just the same as Hale-Bopp's orbit. That's why you had Hale-Bopp, when you go back with the actual computerized space chart, you go back and you can see Hale-Bopp was in orbit near Earth in 1996. What occurred in 2001, when we had the World Trade Center event, what occurred was we missed the tail of Comet Ison. We was in front of it. See, it passed, moving at this speed at the 44 kilometers per second. I might as well put that here too, because their speeds match. We're going to say it's a little slower. Let's just say it's a little slower. Let's say it's moved at 37 kilometers per second, right? Okay. Let's say Comet Ison is moving at 37 kilometers per second. It passed in front of Mars in 1978. That's when the object was first discovered by the scientists. They seen it pass in front of Mars in 1978. The tail of the object flew past Earth in 2001. Earth was in front of Comet Ison in 2001. Comet Ison was behind us during the World Trade Center event. So, you see how the orbital path is? You go on the space chart, you can look on the space chart, you can see that the orbital paths of Comet Ison and Hale-Bopp match, but the speed and the times are different. Here we go. This is when it passed. Now, this is when it hit Mars. See? Actually, let's see. Yeah, it hit Mars here. This when it hit Mars in 2013, like you see on the space chart. This when it hit Mars in 2013, right? So once it hit Mars, it passed. See, it's moving like in a little sine wave. If you go on the Google Earth, you will see a line of fire that's moving on the sine wave on the space chart. You could Google it and check it out. You can see a big line of fire that's moving in a sine wave on the space chart. That's Comet Ison. That's the tail of meteorites that's behind it, what you see on the space chart. Now, in actuality, we all know, according to the times, it would be 2011 on Mars when the Comet Ison actually hit it and passed. And it almost hit us again in 2013. We passed barely right in front of it in 2013 again. It tried to hit us again in 2013. So we got a near miss back in 1996 at this point. Then in 2013, in November 2013, that's when it passed us again. See how this working? Now, the object, if you really want to know its true location, the object is, it passed here in 2013, so it's looping around for it take a whole another 12 years. It take 12 years. These loops, these bands that you see, these time loops, are 12 years apart. So it's going to take it another 12 years to come around and try and hit us again. So we're supposed to have event horizon in 25, 26. See, 2025, 2026 is when the object is going to pass in front of us. The reason why I have 2034 on here is because of the possibility that the object hit us. If it hit us in 2013, this is what I mean by the time loop, that we all could be in a simulated environment. This the scientific evidence that I have. Now, if it hit Mars and hit us in 2013, which is a possibility, we could have been put in the cryo and sent all the way back through time, back to 1996. Here we go, back to 1996. Here is the magnetic portal connection that I have with the timing of Comet Ison hitting Mars, which could make us a strong possibility that we could have been on Mars from the beginning too. We could have been on Mars from the beginning too. That's why I put Mars 1978 on here, because we could have been on Mars the whole time too, while the thing's passing. And if it hit us in 2013, they put us back in the cryo chamber and reset it to computer to 1996. That's why I got the negative charge here. See, I got the positive charge for Mars, 1978, and then I got the negative charge for Earth, 1996. You gotta guess, the problem is you gotta guess what planet we was on to figure this out. But from what the evidence looked like the advanced civilization, the technologically advanced civilization that we had was on Mars. But I mean by we having two different timelines running through the same loop. We're running through it's two different timelines running through two different loops with two different planets. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be Hale-Bopp's position in 2026. It's going to be up here. This is going to be its final orbit. And this is where Comet Ison is going to be in 2026. But there's a strong possibility we could be in the year 2035 now, because of these time loops. They're 12 years apart. So if we orbited around the sun for the 2023rd time, we're here somewhere. We're here now. Well, no. We're here. This Comet Ison's orbit. My bad. This is Comet Ison's orbit in blue. This is Hale-Bopp orbit in black. This is Earth moving along the timeline. So if we're 2023, we'll be about right here or something. And or about right here. That's what I'm saying. We're getting close to the event horizon. We're getting close to the event horizon. And we could be about right here. About right here right now. And this thing is like, it's chasing us. That's what it's doing. It looks like it's chasing us. Because it hit us on Mars in 2013. And then they put us back on, we could even say this is Utopia B, because Pluto was Utopia A. So we're just going to label this Utopia B for now, because we have the evidence to believe that Mars is habitable. Utopia B. And then you have Utopia C is where we at right now. We're on this. We should be on this planet according to the math. Utopia C. And then we know Pluto was Utopia A. And we know this object is Pluto. Remember, this object is Pluto. Pluto was destroyed. Pluto was destroyed over 13,000 years ago. Pluto was destroyed 13 years ago. And it became Comet Ison. It became a burning black hole. It's a hole in time and space. So it started spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning, and it started building up meteorites, and it became a solid mass object. And it took over 13 years for this object to amass its density from sucking in all the space objects and trash that's around it. So, Comet Ison orbits. Excuse me, y'all. Can you please stop? This is very important what I'm doing right now for these people. Can you please stop? Can you go in another room or something?
No.
Okay, can you please be quiet? Like, that's the last time I'm gonna tell you. Anyway, I had us here in 2022. No. These are the polls. These are the polls I was timing here. These are the polls. We got 2010, 2022 here. This had to be the location of Hale-Bopp. Wait a minute. Oh yeah. These are poles. These are magnetic portal connections, right? This is another magnetic portal connection that this is when the object makes its magnetic portal connections with us in 2010 and in 2022. So when we came back, if we were on Mars in 1978, this hypothetical situation, if we were on Mars in 1978, we watched the object pass in front of us. We was in a highly technologically advanced civilization during this timeline right here. Basically, the same time, this is what I'm trying to say. History repeats itself. We're basically in the same timeline with the Pluto object. It's the same thing that occurred with Pluto, maybe occurred to Mars, and it just history repeating itself. We reset, we go back to 1996, and then we repeat the same thing all over again. Maybe that's what's going on. But maybe at the event, we won't know until the event horizon, until 2025, until we know the event horizon. That's when we can figure this out. Because Like I said, if we were here on Mars in 1978, the object passed in front of us. The object, we have scientific evidence that the object hit Mars, or possibly could have destroyed Mars, or like I said, if they had enough time to fix Mars up, they've had over 20 something years to fix Mars up. They had 24 years to fix this planet up. So we could be jumping planets. We could be jumping planets, or there's scientific evidence that we could be still on Earth, and we just following the Earth timeline naturally as both objects pass us. That's why they say we had two suns in the sky, because you got Comet Ison up here on top of Hale-Bopp, and you got Hale-Bopp here on the bottom. So what's going on is, if we on the Earth timeline, the Y2K event was here. So Hale-Bopp passed, also a past Earth. Hale-Bopp actually passed over Earth during the Y2K event. That's what almost made me think Comet Ison hit us here during 2001. And the event, you never know, could have been simulated through the computer. But the timeline proves that event was real. It was in real time. The other timeline on Mars also proves that the event was real, because in 2001 on Mars, there was no events at all. You just had the planet passing here at certain points. Passing at certain points. You had Hale-Bopp passing through, also with Comet Ison passing through, passing around the sun. Remember, these loops are 12 years apart. These bands are 12 years apart. So this planet has had plenty of time to pass through our solar system. It's chasing us. And we're at the event horizon where it's getting ready to slingshot. It's getting ready to do the 2,500 year slingshot along with Hale-Bopp. So these two objects is sitting right here at the event horizon, and we're heading into the event horizon. And then if Mars was hit, Mars is not going to be affected by Comet Ison. It's only going to be partially affected by Hale-Bopp, but Hale-Bopp is going to be way out the way by the year 2025. So that's what I'm seeing on the space chart. That's the only way we can prove is two different timelines here. As you see, we go back to Mars, 1978. If we left, if Pluto was destroyed 13,000 years ago, there's a strong possibility we could escape to Mars. And the original, like the Old Testament, the Old Testament. Okay. The Bible days, the Bible, right? Ancient history. We could have a lot of ancient history here on this planet. And what I'm theorizing is, we were on Mars first, and then you had Utopia C. Utopia C was already incorporated by another species, and according to the timeline, it looks like we were coming here to battle, or we were in some type of relationship with this planet, but it wasn't good between Mars and Earth. The history between these planets is not good at all, from what I see. But if we were on Mars the whole entire time, with the timeline passing through, and then we get it hit us in 2013, that's the only way we could prove that we were put in the cryo. This is the only way we could prove. Here's the magnetic portal connection right here. Only way we could prove that we were put in the cryo and sent back to Earth in 1996. All the math speaks up all the math indicates the year 2025 could, the year 2023, that's the year we in now. The year 2023 could be the year 2035 with the 12-year time loop here. Here's the time loop between Hale-Bopp. No, here's the actual time loop between Comet Ison and when it passed here at this point, it passed here like in about 2003. This at least got to be 2003, 2001. With Comet Ison past Mars here, where it passed in front of Mars on the orbital path. Let's just say 2003. Okay. So took about 10 more years. When it passes in front of the sun, it's moving fast. It's moving pretty fast. Okay. It takes only 2 years for it to pass in front of the sun. When it's doing its time loop, this is 2 years right here. It takes 2 years. This band right here, since we're doing the math right now, this band right here has to be a 10-year band. 10 years on this loop right here. Okay? So if we can calculate 10 years on this loop here, boom. The event horizon has to be in here because the band, if it passes in front of the sun, again, it's going to take another 2 years, right? So if it takes 2 years, and we're the event horizon. No, right. It's getting ready to pass in front of the sun. This is it. It's impossible for us not to pass through the tail of the object because we're here in 2023, which could be the year 2035, and the object has already passed in front of the sun. It's done its 2-year speed already. See? It's doing a 10-year loop, and it's going back into another 2-year speed. See, that's why the scientists said that we're probably going to be on the wrong side of it because here's the evidence right here. It's in it. This the 10 years, right? We had 10 years to get ready for it, basically. This the 10 years we had to get ready for it. So you had the eclipse in 2017 about that 2017 eclipse was about right here. Okay, but it actually was a opposite object eclipsing us. It was Neptune. Neptune was eclipsing us about I say here, but Neptune's moving at a slower speed because it takes longer for Neptune to pass around the sun. So Neptune is a dead planet. I actually supposed to have that here on the chart since we discovered that too. But Neptune would have been about right here because we had the eclipse in 2017 about right here somewhere. Yeah, about right here somewhere. Unless Hale-Bopp eclipsed us. Maybe that was Hale-Bopp that eclipsed us. Looks like Hale-Bopp probably was the one that eclipsed us, not Neptune. But Neptune was opposite to the sun that day. So we either could have got eclipsed by Hale-Bopp or Neptune. The eclipse angle was at 73 degrees. So make me think if it wasn't Neptune that eclipsed us on August 2017, it had to be Hale-Bopp that eclipsed us. And Hale-Bopp is a dead planet. If it missed us in 2013, Hale-Bopp came around and eclipsed us in 2017. That make more than damn sense. but I missed it because I had calculated Neptune being over here. And Neptune is accurate because Neptune is moving slower. So Neptune still be like in the 1990s or something, or 1980s, or no one knows the real orbit of Neptune. You have to actually calculate it. It might be longer than that. It might not even been around the sun that many times. But yeah, it was opposite, exactly opposite to the eclipse. So the eclipse had to be in here, and the eclipse had to be in Hale-Bopp. So we're going to just mathematically deduct that Hale-Bopp eclipsed us on August 21st, 2017. It is a dead planet. It's a dead planet because I looked at it. It was all black. You couldn't see nothing. And it blacked out the sun for 3 hours. We had a 3 hour blackout, right? Which it tells we could be, I've been seeing somebody, well, a lady on YouTube, Gina Hill, she discovered that we possibly could be heading to 3 days of darkness. And I kind of see it myself just looking at the timeline because it's taking longer for the sun to come up. And it's not daylight saving time, so it has had made a connection with us here at this point by now, and it's slowing our rotation. Our rotation is going slower and slower and slower. So along this timeline here, we're gonna have like more earthquakes and everything, like more earthquakes and all type of more natural disasters heading into the event horizon. You see what I'm saying? I made this chart up a long time ago. Here go the sun. You know the sun always in the middle. That's the only thing that they teach us that's right, is accurate, is the sun is the center of the solar system. And like I said, here we go. We're gonna start. We're gonna make sure everybody get this. Everybody get this. This Hale-Bopp, 1996. Comet Iton's entry point into the solar system, passing Mars in 1978. And this is what I mean by both of the orbits being similar. The similarity of the orbits of Comet Iton and Hale-Bopp. So if you track Hale-Bopp, basically, if you could track Hale-Bopp, you could track Comet Iton. That's basically what this timeline is telling you. If you could track Hale-Bopp, you definitely could track Comet Iton because they're neck and neck with each other in speed and everything. But Hale-Bopp, you tracking a dead planet though. You tracking something you really can't see unless it reflects off the sun. That's why we be getting them halos. We be getting them halos because you got you got Comet Iton reflecting off of it on certain days. You got Hale-Bopp reflecting off of it too. We get them dark rings, that's when Hale-Bopp reflecting off of it. When you get them light rings, that's when Comet Iton is reflecting off of it. You just gotta have the math. These 12-year bands prove that we could either be in the year 2023 or the year 2035 because of this 12-year time loop right here with the magnetic portal connection with us going back to 1996.